to the News on Map World Series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha Singh, and in today's episode we will be covering topics which are important from General Studies Paper 1, that is Geography Map section. So first of all, let's begin with the previous session question. So the question which I asked you people was, which of the following statements is not correct regarding the Darien Gap? So the Darien Gap is in news because of a route which is called the monkey route. So let us first see the 4 statements and then we will talk about the Darien Gap, and which is not correct. First statement says it is a geographical region between North and South America. Due to the inaccessible topography, there is very limited development of transportation in this area. The Pan American Highway, which connects most countries of the American continent, passes through the region. And fourth, the inaccessibility of this area is mainly due to excessive rainfall and related regions. So let us know about the Darien Gap. So Darien Gap is a region which is between the North American continent and the South American continent. So it connects the North America with the South America continent, and on one side we have the country Colombia, while on the other side we have the Central American country called Panama. So Darien Gap connects Panama with Colombia. So let's see it through map. Okay, so this is North America, this is South America, and this is the location of the Darien Gap. So it connects Panama with this region is Colombia. So it is a gap which connects Panama with Colombia, and it is called a gap because this region called Darien Gap is a very dense region. It has a very dense forest, has a lot of wildlife. Then you can say there are wetlands also. Then it has wild animals, and the insects also, there are a lot of insects also. The infrastructure is not there. The Pan American Highway, which connects the North America with the South America, and you can say it almost runs through majority of the countries of the North America and the South America. This Pan American Highway also does not pass through the Darien Gap because that region is, because of the inaccessibility, and the region is so inaccessible that there is no infrastructure connectivity in the Darien Gap. So see this is Colombia on one side, then this is Panama on the one side, and this is the Darien Gap. No infrastructure, you can say. So this is also the gap which is used by people for moving illegally from the South American continent to the North American continent, and from Colombia they pass through the forest and the jungles of the Darien Gap, and many a times people are not able to pass through it and lose their lives. Then there are robberies taking place, there are murders taking place because of the dense forest. There are so many of wild animals, insects, people get some diseases there. So it is a very, very, very dense area, and plus infrastructurally also it is not at all viable. So okay, see this map again. So if you will see, this is the Darien Gap, and if you will see, this is the enlarged view of the Darien Gap. Then this is the North America portion and this is the South America portion. Then you will see that this is a yellow line which is coming. This is the line which is the road which is coming of the North American continent, that is the highway, Pan American Highway. So the road ends in the Darien Gap, and then there is a gap, and in this gap there is no road which is there, and then again the road starts from the Colombia region. So in between, if we will see that there is no construction of infrastructure taking place. So this is the Darien Gap. So let's see, it is a geographical region between North and South America. This is correct. We just saw. Due to the inaccessible topography, there is very limited development of transportation in this region. This is also true. Then third, the Pan-American Highway, which connects most countries of the American continent, passes through the region. So this is wrong because the Pan-American Highway does not pass through the region. Then D, the inaccessibility of this area is mainly due to excessive rainfall and related regions. Now this is also correct. So we have to talk about the not correct. It means the incorrect statement. So the incorrect statement is option C. So the correct answer is option C. Now moving on to today's session. The reference for the first question talks about recently the Union Cabinet gave ex post facto approval to the migration and movement agreement between India and Italy. Now this brings Italy to the news, and the question talks about which of the following water bodies does not touch the coast of Italy. It is asking which does not, and I think we have discussed Italy so many times that you people should be able to answer this one. So this should be an easy question for you people. Tyrrhenian Sea, Ionian Sea, Adriatic Sea, or Gulf of Aqaba. Now let's see the map. Okay, this is the map of Italian peninsula, and Italy is a country which lies in Europe, and it lies in the South Europe. So if we will see, then this is the Italian peninsula. So this is Italian peninsula, and it is called peninsula because on three sides it is surrounded with the water bodies, and the north side it is surrounded with other countries. So on the three sides, if we will talk about the Italian peninsula, then majorly Italian peninsula touches with the Mediterranean Sea, and if we will talk about the short seas which are present in the Mediterranean Sea, then on the one side is the Adriatic Sea, then it has the Ionian Sea, and then it has the Tyrrhenian Sea. So this is Italy. On the south, Italy is covered with Ionian Sea. On the west, it is Tyrrhenian Sea, and on the east, it is Adriatic Sea. So the water body which is not surrounding Italy is the Gulf of Aqaba, because Gulf of Aqaba is present in the Arabian Peninsula, that is the Middle Eastern countries. So the Gulf of Aqaba, you will see that it is surrounded with the Arabian Peninsula, and the countries which is surrounding the Gulf of Aqaba is Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. So on one side we have the Suez Canal, while on the other side there is Gulf of Aqaba. So Gulf of Aqaba does not surround Italy. So the correct answer for this question would be which does not touch the coast of Italy is the option D, that is Gulf of Aqaba. Now next question. In recent times, recent attacks on the ships in the Red Sea trade route and the ongoing drought problems in the Panama Canal have raised concerns about global trade disruptions. Now this brings Red Sea and the Panama Canal to the news because these two canals are very important. The question talks about consider the location of the following lakes. So there are three lakes which are given, and it is asking which of the above is or are related to the Suez Canal. So out of three lakes, which is Timsha Lake, Bitter Lake, and Gatun Lake. So out of Timsha Lake, Bitter Lake, and Gatun Lake, which lakes are present or is related to the Suez Canal? And this is also a question whose statements, the three options which are given, has been asked by the UPSC. So you can go and check out the previous year questions also, because this Timsha Lake, Bitter Lake, this has been asked by the UPSC. So let's see the map, and I will be telling you in thorough detail. So this is a long question. So if we talk about the Suez Canal, which is considered to be one of the most important trading route, as around 12% of the world's trade, 12% of the world's trade passes through the Suez Canal. So you can imagine that in itself Suez Canal becomes so much of important. Then let's take an example of a ship which is going from Singapore to Europe. Now imagine a ship which is going from Singapore and Europe, and we will see that how useful Suez Canal is and the importance of Suez Canal. So if the ship started from Singapore and going to Europe, passes through Suez Canal, then it will take it 26-day trip and the distance will be 8,500 nautical miles. But if the ship will not pass through the Suez Canal and will pass through the Cape of Good Hope and will take the full Africa route, then the number of days it will take is 36 days and the distance that the ship has to travel is 11,800 nautical miles. So that is why Suez Canal and the safe route of Suez Canal is holds so much of importance, that 10 days difference is there and plus 3,300 nautical miles. So distance, cost, efficiency, productivity, all is there if the ships are passing through the Suez Canal. Now next, if you will see, this is the map of the Egypt, because see, this is the Gulf of Suez and this is the Suez Canal. The red line which I am drawing is the Suez Canal. See, this is Suez Canal and Suez Canal completely passes through Egypt, and then on one side it has Red Sea while on the other side it has the Mediterranean Sea. So this is the Suez Canal. Then on the north of it is the Mediterranean Sea, on the south of it is the Gulf of Suez, and then Gulf of Suez goes into the Red Sea. Now look at this map. This is even the elaborated and the more explained map of the Suez Canal. So if we will see the Suez Canal, then Suez Canal has many lakes within it, and all these lakes, when it get attached to each other, then they form the Suez Canal. So it is not that Suez Canal was exactly like what it looks like. No, there were few lakes in between and these all lakes were connected to each other, and that is how the Suez Canal was formed. So if we will look at the broader map of the Suez Canal, then we will see that in between the Suez Canal we will find the Lake Timsha. Lake Timsha. Then on the southern side of the Lake Timsha there is Great Bitter Lake, and onto the southern side of Great Bitter Lake we have the Little Bitter Lake, and together Great Bitter Lake and Little Bitter Lake, they form the Bitter Lake. So these are few of the lakes which lies in the Suez Canal: Timsha Lake and Bitter Lake, and then the water from the Bitter Lake goes into the Gulf of Suez. So this was about the Suez Canal. So Timsha Lake and Bitter Lake, while Gatun Lake is not present in the Suez Canal, it is present in the Panama Canal. Now let's know about that why Panama Canal holds so much of importance. I know this question is lengthy, but this is a very interesting question and you will be thorough with both the routes. So if we will talk about the Panama Canal, then Panama Canal lies in the Central American country of Panama, that is Isthmus of Panama. So imagine a ship which is passing from the New York City to San Francisco. Now the ship, if it covers the whole route of the South America, which is this route, then the ship will have to travel 13,100 nautical miles. But if that ship passes through the Panama Canal, then the ship can reach its destination in just 5,200 nautical miles. It means more than 8,000 nautical mile distance is reduced if the ship takes the Panama Canal route. And Panama Canal is a freshwater canal. It is artificially created, and it was created during the time of 1913 to 1915, and this is above sea level. This is around 25 to 30 meters above sea level. So that is the Lake Gatun. So this was about the Panama Canal, and Lake Gatun is present in the Panama Canal, that is the Isthmus of Panama. I'll just show you the elaborated map. Okay, look at this map. So this is Panama, and if one has to pass from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, and to be specific, within the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean sea to the Pacific Ocean, then through the Isthmus of Panama, if the ship can pass through this route, and there is a lake which is present in this route, and that is the Lake Gatun. Lake Gatun is present in the Isthmus of Panama. Okay, see this? Now imagine a ship is moving from Atlantic Ocean, then this lake, this region, this larger region is the Lake Gatun, and it is the freshwater lake, and that is why it holds so much of importance, because on one side we have the Atlantic Ocean, while on the other side there is a Pacific Ocean, and in between there is a freshwater lake, and that is why Lake Gatun in itself is very important, and because it is a freshwater lake, it is now going through the problem of droughts also. So let's get back to the question, lengthy explanation. So which of the following are related to Suez Canal? Timsha Lake and Bitter Lake. Gatun Lake was not related to Suez Canal. So the correct answer would be 1 and 2. That is option B. So option B is the correct answer. Now next question. The reference says that recently India paid for the crude oil purchased from the United Arab Emirates in rupees for the first time. So this becomes important, that India is paying to the other country in rupee for buying of crude oil. So this talks about the internationalization of Indian rupee. So the question says, how many of the following countries share their coastline with the Persian Gulf? So how many countries are sharing coastline with the Persian Gulf? And the countries given are Yemen, Oman, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria. So these are the 6 countries. So let's see. So this is the map of the Middle East countries, or you can say the Arabian Peninsula. So if we talk about the Persian Gulf, then Persian Gulf is a water body on one side which is locked with countries like Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, while on the other side through the Strait of Hormuz it gets connected with the Gulf of Oman. So if we talk about the Persian Gulf, then Persian Gulf is present in is a water body which is present in the Middle Eastern countries, in between the Middle Eastern countries. So this is Persian Gulf, and on the north of Persian Gulf is Iran. So I will tell you all the surrounding countries of the Persian Gulf. On north of it is Iran, then it has Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, and a country which will make you people do mark this question wrong is Oman, because many of you would be thinking that Oman touches its border with the Gulf of Oman, but no, Oman also touches border with the Persian Gulf, and the reason being that the northernmost tip of UAE is the territory of Oman, and this is where you will be trapped in the question, and this is where you might get the question wrong. So the northernmost point of the UAE is also the territory of Oman, correct? So the countries which will not be sharing border with the Persian Gulf is Yemen, then it is Jordan, then Syria. So these countries will not be sharing border with the Persian Gulf. So let's see this. So the countries which will be sharing border with the Persian Gulf: Yemen, no; Oman, yes; Saudi Arabia, yes; UAE, yes; Jordan, no; Syria, no. So correct code is how many countries? 1, 2 and 3. So in total there are 3 countries which are sharing border with the Persian Gulf. So the correct answer is option B, only 3 countries. Next question, and the reference talks about that recently the External Affairs Minister of India has visited Russia for bilateral meetings where both the countries have signed agreements with regard to nuclear energy, drugs, pharmaceuticals. So this brings Russia to the news, and the question talks about arrange the following cities in the order from west to east. So let's discuss the directions. So this is north, this is south, this is west, and this is east. So from west to east we have to talk about the directions. So choose the correct code, and the cities are, so these all 4 cities belongs to Russia, that is Irkutsk, Moscow, St. Petersburg and Vladivostok. Out of these four, there are three cities which you people must have heard, and that is Moscow, St. Petersburg and Vladivostok. One, that is Irkutsk, you might have not heard. So let's see the direction from west to east. West to east, it means this direction. So this is the map of Russia, and we all know that Russia, if we talk about the land wise, so land wise Russia is the largest country in the world, and the northern portion of Russia usually remains in the very cold region, and much of the area also lies into the Arctic Circle. So majority of the time the northern region of Russia is filled or is covered with snow. So if we talk about the cities, then first we have the St. Petersburg city, which was earlier the capital of Russia, and it lies very close to the Baltic Sea, and it is in the North Russia. Then we have the Moscow, which is the present capital of Russia. Then there is Irkutsk. Irkutsk city is very close to the lake Baikal, and it is situated in the southern Russia, South Russia. Then we have the city of Vladivostok, and Vladivostok was very much in news in the last 4 to 5 years, and this is the place where even the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russia's Vladimir Putin held a meeting. So Vladivostok lies in the southeast of Russia. So if we go from west to east, first we have St. Petersburg, then Moscow, then Irkutsk, and then Vladivostok. So let's see. Let me rub this. Okay, this is fine. So first St. Petersburg, then Moscow, then Irkutsk, and then Vladivostok. So that is 3, 2, 1, 4. So which one is 3, 2, 1, 4? 3, 2, 1, 4 is option B. So the correct answer is option B, that is 3, 2, 1, 4. That is St. Petersburg, Moscow, Irkutsk and Vladivostok. Now next question. And the reference for the question talks about, recently scientists have discovered a submerged mountain range rising above the seabed. Submerged mountain range. This mountain range is found hidden beneath the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. Antarctic Circumpolar Current. Now, by knowing the name Antarctic, there is one thing which is very obvious, that the region would be cold. The region is in south, and then if we talk about the latitude, then it is around latitude of 80 degrees and plus. So 80 degrees and above. So Antarctic Circumpolar Current. So let's see the question. Consider the following statements with reference to the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. First, this water current flows around the continent of Antarctica. Flows around the continent of Antarctica. Second, this water stream crosses all the longitudes of the earth. Now this is an extreme statement, that the water stream crosses all the longitudes of the earth. Third, this is a cold stream. How many of the above given statements are correct? So let's see. Okay, look at this map. So if we talk about the Antarctic side, then this side. This side in the southern, if we look at the world map, so this is the world map, then in the southern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere also the southernmost area, that is you can say the South Pole area, and the longitude of, you can say 80 degree and plus, is where the Antarctic region actually lies, and the region is covered with snow. There are huge glaciers because it is a very cold region and not very suitable for habitation also. So if we talk about the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, so this is the direction in which the Antarctic Circumpolar Current is moving. And if we look at the more elaborate map of it, then this is the map that we get. So this is the overview, you can say the top view of the Antarctic region. So if you will see, so this is the Antarctic region, this is the Antarctic zone, and the blue line, which is this line, this movement of current which you are able to see is the Antarctic circumpolar current. So you will see that the Antarctic circumpolar current is covering the whole of the Antarctica. So let's see the question, that this water current flows around the continent of Antarctica. This is correct, as I just showed you the second image. Second, this water stream crosses all the longitudes of the earth. Now this is also correct. Look at this map. So this is Antarctica, and if you will see the Antarctic circumpolar current, then it is passing through and it is covering all the Antarctica. So it means that all what is saying is latitude or longitude, it is saying longitudes. Okay. So if we will talk about longitude wise, then yes, all the longitude which are lying in the region, it is crossing and it is covering all the longitudes because it is completely circulating around it. So this water stream crosses all the longitudes of the earth. This is correct. And this is a cold stream. Now this is an obvious statement that it is a cold stream because it is flowing in Antarctica. It will be a cold stream. So we have to talk about the correct statement, and all three statements are correct. That is option C. Now next question. So the reference talks about that recently the cabinet has approved the Memorandum of Understanding for Cooperation between Prasar Bharati and Radio Television Malaysia. Now this brings Malaysia to the news, and the question talks about, consider the following statements, and we have to talk about which statement are not correct. Not correct. First, the equator passes through Malaysia, and second, some areas of Malaysia are included in the equatorial climate region. Equatorial climate region. Now let's look at the map. So this is the map of the Southeast Asian countries, and let me draw equator. So this red line is the equator line. So this is equator, and it is very clearly visible that equator is passing through Indonesia, and that is the Sumatra island of Indonesia. Then it is passing through the Borneo island, and then again the Indonesian islands are there. So if we will talk about Malaysia, then Malaysia is actually divided into two regions. So first is the Malay Peninsula. So Malay Peninsula is very clearly lying north to the equator, and then Malaysia is also present on the Borneo island, and on the Borneo island also the Malaysia is present in the northern region. So it is also lying north to the equator. So Malaysia is not lying on the equator, it is lying to the north of the equator. And then the second statement, if we talk about the equator passes through Malaysia, no. Then some areas of Malaysia are included in the equatorial climate region. Okay, let's see this. If we talk about the equatorial climate region, so first of all you should know about the tropical region. So the tropical region is from 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south, and within the tropical region lies the equatorial region, and equatorial region latitude is 10 degree south to 10 degree north. So now let's see the location of Malaysia. See, this is equator, so this becomes 0 degree, and if we talk about the equatorial region, so that is from 10 degree north to 10 degree south. So this is 10 degree north and this is 10 degree south. So between this area, if we will see, then yes, Malaysia is completely lying between the 10 degree. You can say we do not even need to see the 10 degree south area, it is lying between the 10 degree north and equator. So it will be coming in contact with the equatorial climatic region. The second statement becomes correct. And what it is asking about the not correct statement. So second is correct, first is not correct. So it means the answer is only 1. The answer is option A, only 1. Now next question. Recently, BRICS membership expanded to include 5 new countries. At the same time, Argentina backed out at the last moment. So recently, BRICS has expanded. So BRICS has expanded now, and it was supposed to include 6 countries, but at the last moment Argentina backed out, so there are 5 countries which has been included in the BRICS. So the question talks about that how many countries are currently included in the BRICS group from the African continent, that is from the African continent. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's talk about BRICS. So BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, and it was founded with the New Fortzilla Declaration, and the aim was that this is a grouping of the fastest moving economies of the world. Majority of them are the developing countries and the fastest moving economies in the world. But now finally BRICS has expanded, and BRICS has included the countries like Argentina, which backed out at the last moment, so it is not a part of BRICS now. Then comes Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries which has been included in the group, and they are majorly, if you will see, the Middle Eastern countries, and they are the oil giants of the world. And apart from this, Brazil, South Africa, India, China and Russia were earlier part of BRICS. So in total, how many from African continent? So that is, first is Egypt, second is Ethiopia, then third is South Africa. So from the African continent we have 3 countries, that is option B is the correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. The reference talks about that recently an earthquake of magnitude 7.5 on the Richter scale has struck the central region of Japan, following which a tsunami warning was issued. Now this brings Japan to the news. The question talks about which of the following is the largest island of Japan. Largest island of Japan: Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku or Kyushu. So let's look at the map of Japan. So this is Japan, and Japan, if we will see, that it lies in the extended arm of the Pacific Ocean, and that you can say that it lies in the North Pacific Ocean, and on the western side of Japan is the Sea of Japan, while on the eastern side it has the North Pacific Ocean. And if we talk about the country Japan, then Japan's capital is Tokyo, and it is completely an island country. And then Japan as it is an island country, there are 4 major islands of which Japan is formed. You can say 5 also, but the 5th one is very small in size. There are many other islands also, but these 5 are the most important islands. So this island which you are able to see, the bigger island, which is this one, this island, this is called Honshu. Then we have the Hokkaido island, then we have the Kyushu island, and then there is Shikoku island also, and there is one more island which is Okinawa island. So this is the 5th one. So if we talk about the largest of all, then the largest of all is Honshu. On second number we have Hokkaido, on third we have the Kyushu, on fourth Shikoku, and on 5th it is Okinawa. So which is the largest island of Japan? As we just saw, it is the Honshu island, that is option B. So option B is the correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. Recently Kyrgyzstan has declared the snow leopard at its national symbol. So this brings Kyrgyzstan to the news, and the question talks about which of the following countries are the neighbors of Kyrgyzstan. Neighbors: Russia, China, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. So there are 4 options given. We have to talk about the correct statement. So let's look at the map of the Kyrgyzstan, and see, this is the map of the Kyrgyzstan, and Kyrgyzstan is a Central Asian country. So Kyrgyzstan is the Central Asian country. So this is Kyrgyzstan, and if we will talk about Kyrgyzstan, Central Asian country and a landlocked country. So the countries which is sharing border with Kyrgyzstan is, on the north it is sharing border with Kazakhstan, on the south it is sharing border with Tajikistan, on the west is Uzbekistan, and on the east it is sharing border with China, and the majority of the border it shares with Kazakhstan and China. So the country with which it is not sharing border is Russia and Turkmenistan. Do not get confused between Tajikistan and Turkmenistan. Be very clear between both of them. And many a times the country with which people will get confused is also Russia, because people think that Russia, because of its huge border, touches borders with many other countries, but Kyrgyzstan does not touch border with Russia. It is only Kazakhstan among the Central Asian countries which touches border with Russia. Any other Central Asian country like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, they do not touch border with Russia. So neighbors of Kyrgyzstan, Russia, no. China, yes. Uzbekistan, yes. Turkmenistan, no. It was Tajikistan. So how many are correct? Correct is second and third. So the correct answer is option C, that is second and third. Now, okay, so this was it, and it's time for the practice question now for you people, and you will have to tell me the answer in the comment section, as you people always do. And the good part is that you people do give, majority of the people, or should I say the maximum number of the people, give the correct answer. So consider the following statements with reference to Easter Island. So I don't know whether you people are aware about the Easter Island or not. You might not be aware about the name of the island, but I am definitely, and I'm very sure that the pictures of this island, so go on internet and search about why this island is famous, and when you will see the pictures, then you will be able to recognize that many a times, and many a times, I'm using the word many a times, you people must have seen the pictures of this island. It is a very, very, very famous island. So consider the following statements with reference to Easter Island. So there are two statements. First, this island is located in the southern Pacific Ocean, and second, it is located in the western hemisphere of the earth. In the western hemisphere of the earth. Which of the above statements are correct? Only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. So go and search about this island, very interesting, and give me the answer in the comment section. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.